I'm doing the numerology for September 11th, 2024. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 19. And if you add the 1 and the 9 together, you get the number 10. Or you can add the 1 and the 0 together and you can get the number 1. Today being the number 10 and the number 1, we are asked to look at the concepts of obedience and disobedience. In life, society requires us to have rules and laws, and all within that society are expected to obey those laws. That allows a society to be healthy. While we are individuals, the number 1, we are also essential parts of a society and must adhere to the rules of that society, the number 10. When any individuals decide to break the rules of the society out of greed, power, or fame, that is when chaos takes over and the destructive patterns of humanity breed contempt, hatred, and suffering. There are moments where disobedience is required to bring sanity and balance into the mix. The patterns of the number 1 are all about choice. We all have an opportunity to make choices in life. We hope to make choices from our heart and head being in balance. To do anything else creates karma and suffering. Power, the number 10, comes from a place where to do what is right in the face of what is terribly wrong requires a type of personal integrity that is willing to stand up and at times stand alone for what is morally correct. For those supporting and feeding morally terrible things, they will see that individual, the number 1, standing up against them, the number 10, as disobedient. But in this case, doing what is morally correct is to stand up to those in positions of power that are destructive and then want to feed off of those that they were supposed to protect and defend. Today, notice both of these numbers in action. Are you an individual standing up for the people's rights, or are you standing for those that want to tear us apart? It is a simple choice if you are not caught up in the lies of the ego and the confusion games of the minds of manipulators. Personal power comes when you recognize that standing up for oneself is only important if you are standing up for what is morally right. Humility, also the number 1, comes only after we learn the previous statement, because we then finally understand that power is to be used for others, not just ourselves. Great power is not about in the getting, but in the giving. When you finally see past the rose-colored glasses of power, we see that we are here to help each other. Through the eyes of humility, we see that there is great power and peaceful understanding that we are all in this together. When we allow others to suffer, then we too will either suffer with them or put blinders on and separate ourselves from that suffering under the illusion that we are better than them. Notice today if you separate yourself from the suffering in this world or if you try to do something about it in your own way. We cannot fix all the problems in this world alone. We can hold true to what we believe makes a better world and teach that to our children and others. If we did only that, we would slowly make a better world. Thanks, everyone.